स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता ह्य सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणि जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्तः कर्मबन्धविदाहिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मन्नाथो श्रीजगन्नाथो मद्गुरुः श्रीजगद्गुरुः ममात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Let us spend a few moments in silence and prayer. Let us offer our salutations to the all-pervading blissful spirit in any name and form we like. Let us by all means try to feel the divine contact. Mentally, please offer your salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda and Sri Adi Shankaracharya and all great teachers, all great saints in the whole world, teachers and saints whose teachings we all have inherited. May they inspire us with love for the truth. Let us meditate deep in the center of our heart, the spiritual heart, on the divine blissful consciousness in the form of Sri Ramakrishna, who is seated on a beautiful lotus of 12 petals. Deeply think that you are offering flowers at his lotus feet. You are offering your pranam, surrendering your life to him, and saying mentally, Tasmat Tvameva Sharanam Mama Dina Bandho. Pray to Sri Ramakrishna. He Ramakrishna Tvai Bhakti Hine Kripa Kataksham Kurudeva Nityam. I am bereft of devotion to you. Please bless me with your gracious eyes. Always your Kripa Kataksha should be on me. Hridaya Kamala Madhye Rajitam Nirvikalpam Sada Kila Bheda Atitam Ekaswarupam Prakriti Vikriti Shunyam Nityamanandamurtim Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishnam Bhajamaha. Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishnam Bhajamaha. Nirupamamati Sukshmam Nishprapancham Nireham Gagana Sadrishamisham Sarvabhutadhivasam Trigunarahita Satchid Brahmarupam Varenyam Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishnam Bhajamaha. Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishnam Bhajamaha. Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishnam Bhajamaha. Meditate on Sri Ramakrishna, worship Sri Ramakrishna, sing, adore Sri Ramakrishna. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhave. May all be happy, may all be peaceful, may all be free from difficulties, may all see what is good, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery, may all be happy, healthy, peaceful everywhere. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Tapo Bhikshena Papanam Shantanam Vitaraginam Mumukshunam Apekshoyam Atma Bodho Vidhiyate. Tapo Bhikshena Papanam Shantanam Vitaraginam Mumukshunam Apekshoyam Atma Bodho Vidhiyate. I am composing the Atma Bodha or self-knowledge to serve the needs of those who have been purified through the practice of austerities, who are peaceful in heart, free from cravings, and desirous of liberation. Last Sunday we were discussing Shloka number 25. We will recite once more and go forward. Atmano vikriya nasti buddhir bodho na jatviti jivas sarvamalam gnatva gnata drashteti muhyati. Atmano vikriya nasti buddhir bodho na jatviti jivas sarvamalam gnatva gnata drashteti muhyati. So this shloka is explaining, understanding, putting it into our brain about the ego. Atman, Atmanaha, Vikriya Nasti. There is no modifications in the Atma. It is eternal. Buddhir bodho na jatviti. The buddhi or the mind is a modification of matter, prakriti, which is of the nature of inertia and insentiency. The buddhi that we talk every day, or the manas that we talk every day, are sometimes loosely used. Buddhi, manas, manas, buddhi. It has no originality. It is also made out of matter. It is also in a flux. Jivaha, again and again Vedanta, Jiva, Paramatma is used. Understand who is the Jiva? The individualized soul, which is the reflection of consciousness in the mind. Falsely identifies Atman with the body and the mind. And what happens? Gnata drashteti muhyati. It thinks, the Jiva thinks, I know, I am the drashta, I am the gnata, I am the seer, I am the knower. Such delusions come and that fellow lands into trouble. This is a kind of hypnotism that comes because of the reflection. Is the shadow real or the person real? The shadow is only depending on the sun. When the sun goes, there is no reflection at all. Again and again we remind ourselves Sri Ramakrishna's example of 10 jars of water outside and the sun above. There are 10 reflections of the sun, exactly like the sun. But one by one the reflection is taken out. Then what remains? Don't say nothing remains. The sun remains. The truth remains. We have to always keep in mind. That is real. These are temporary. This is Vyavaharika Satta. That is Paramarthika Satta. The eternal truth. But what happens? The Jiva connects itself with the mind and thinks, I know everything. Who are you to tell me? I have memorized the Bhagavad Gita. I have memorized the Vedas. I am doing this. I am enjoying this. Karta bhokta. This leads to bondage in daily life. Bondage means samsara. New samsaras are created. Undedi chaldu. Going on creating different folds of samsara, different folders of samsara. Then finally computer will go for repair. Either they will take you to mental hospital or they will put you in old age home. Clarity is missing. That is muhyati. The word used is delusion, moha. Muhyati, moha. Now the results of the false and true knowledge are described in Shloka number 26. So by the grace of Shankara, we shall enter into that. He is analyzing the Jiva or the individualized soul. Rajju sarpavadatmanam Jivam gnatva bhayam vahet Naham jivah paratmeti gnatan che nirbhayo bhavet. All can repeat, don't sit quiet. Vedantic words these are, Shankara's words. Rajju sarpavadatmanam Jivam gnatva bhayam vahet Naham jivah paratmeti Gnatan che nirbhayo bhavet. So this is an oft-quoted example by all Vedantic teachers. Again and again it comes to remind us what we are doing and why we are suffering. Rajju Sarpan Nyaya. So many Nyayas are there in Vedanta. One of them, predominantly mentioned by Shankara and others, is the snake and the rope. Shankara is giving us a reminder of that illusion. Bhranti. Rajju sarpavadatmanam jivam gnatva bhayam vahet. The soul regarding itself as a jiva is overcome by fear. bhayam vahet. Just like a man who regards a rope as a snake. Rajju sarpavad atmanam jivam gnatva bhayam. Moment you see a snake or even think of a snake, immediately what is the emotion there? Fear. Naham jivav paratme. Then what is the solution? Should I suffer? Should I always be in fear? No. The soul regains fearlessness by realizing that it is not a jiva. Naham jivaha. I am the Paramatma. I am the free soul. That's why Swami Vivekananda asserted it. He says, assert it. That is your nature. That is your dignity. Not the jivahood. Not the embodied personality. Not the limited individual so and so. Mr. so and so. You are not in a limited being. You are not in just a house. You belong to the whole world. As I said last Sunday, the example of our great monk long back by name Vimal Maharaj, who went on doing seva yoga, seva, 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 and in the end he saw himself in everybody. He saw his own self in all. So that experience is important. First it is a thought, then it is practiced, then it becomes your life. Every bit of it. Naham jivaha. Then who are you? Paramatma iti. Gnatan chen nirbhayo bhavet. You gain that fearlessness. You realize your true nature, that you are not a jiva but a supreme soul. Atma bhavam, Atma bhavam, Atma bhavam. Bahubalam, Buddhi balam, Atma balam. Bahubalam may become weak after 60, 70, 80. Buddhi balam also, memory power and other things will reduce. But what you take forward is Atma balam, the spiritual strength of the Atman. Now you see, just as the person who regards a rope as a snake is overcome by fear, so also one considering oneself as the ego or the jiva is overcome by fear. All these problems in the society is out of fear. In one of his speeches, Swami says, what causes fear? Karanameviti. Then Swamiji says, he himself answers, ignorance of our real nature. Ignorance of our real nature is the cause of bhayam. So we need the support of a guru in the initial stages. Shankara himself surrendered to Govindapada. Vivekananda surrendered to Sri Ramakrishna. Arjuna surrendered saying, Sishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. All the great masters in science or music or spirituality in the past, present, Guru Krupa. Because Guru has got the light. So, the egocentric individuality in us regains that fearlessness, the Rajatvam. The Raja has no fear, you see. In Maharashtra, every time this chant, Jai Bhavani, Jai Shivaji, Jai Bhavani, Jai Shivaji. No fear. Put fear to fear, Swamiji says. You are the king. Why fear? And what is fear? Psychology says, face everything and rise. Fear, F-E-A-R. Some say stage fear, exam fear, water fear. To see oneself also fear. Because the guilt, phobia it is called. We have so many courses in Human Excellence on overcoming fear, overcoming anxiety, overcoming stress. So many people come, all youngsters. ప్రొఫెషనల్స్. ఏదో భయం, ఏదో భయం. ఏ భయమో తెలియదు వాడికి, ఏదో భయం. ఫియర్ ఆఫ్ ది అన్నోన్, ఫియర్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫ్యూచర్. వై? Ignorance of our real nature. So the egocentric individuality in us regains fearlessness by realizing that it is not a jiva. Naham jiva, naham jiva, naham karta, naham bhokta. But I am the Supreme Self. So all the transactions that goes on in this world between children and parents, between families, between friends, between husband and wife, between business partners, having some element of fear. Today people are afraid in the IT world and in the American world when that list red sheet will come on the paper, on the table, asking to say services is gone. They are afraid. Why? They have no strength of the self. But the older generation, no fear. Nirbhayatvam. This shloka will help us to realize what is the cause of fear and how to overcome the fear. So all the transaction that we are seeing, sorry, and the consequent samsara which flows out of, pops out of fear, are my own reflections. I am imagining all this. Some children or some elders are afraid of stage fear. They say stage fear, mic fear. Seeing the audience, they will collapse. Where is the fear on the stage? There's fear in the mind. Prepare well. A soldier has no fear. He hugs death. He embraces death. He is aware of his limitations, but he is trained to overcome the limitations, whether it's in China border or whether it's in Pakistan border or any situation. One bullet is enough. They are aware of it. Either their dead body will come or they become a vegetable. They can't move 1 centimeter. Paralysis. Are they not going? Are they not wearing the equipment? Siachen glacier, minus 50-degree temperature in November, December. Frost bites. Why they have no fear? Why common man is afraid of just crossing the road here? They embrace death. That's why Vivekananda wanted young men and women to develop Kshatra Viryam Brahma Tejas. That is Shankara's words in English format. The strength of a soldier, of a Kshatriya, and the meditation of a Rishi, Brahma Tejas. That is what he said, Paramatma. Then the country will grow. You will be fearless. Abhayam vai Brahma, Abhayam vai Brahma. If this knowledge of only transactions and ego, etc. is there, fear will come. More and more will come. Famous teaching of Swamiji is there in Sanskritam. He writes, Kim nama rodashi sake. Why are you weeping, my friend? He is writing to his classmate from America. Why are you weeping, my friend? Kim nama rodashi sake. Out of fear, that friend was crying, was in depression. Tvai sarva shaktihi. Amantrayasva bhagavan bhagadaswarupam. Summon up your energy, O Almighty One. Trilokyametadakilam tavapadamole. The 3 worlds will be at your feet. That fearlessness will come. Trilokyametadakilam tavapadamole is not an ego. It is fearlessness. Why? Why Trilokyam will come at your feet? Atmaiva hi prabhavati nah jadak kadachit. What Shankara is saying here? Atman alone predominates, not this Jadavastu called the body. Electricity is important. You may have any fashionable, any costly gadget or tube light or AC or fridge. Nothing is, it's Jadavastu only. Depends on the electricity. So similarly, all actions depend on the Atman. But the mind comes in between, the thought comes in between and says, you are only the body, you are only a limited being, and fear will enter. So, for transactions, for communication purpose, you can say, and Vyavaharam, it is called Vyavaharam. From where are you coming? Suppose you are going back home, or somebody in the way says, from where you are coming? Immediately, what is our response? I am coming from Ramakrishna Math. I am returning from Ramakrishna Math, attending ATMA BODHA class, or after attending the Arati. You don't say, I am the Atman, I am all pervading. Then something wrong, these things. You don't go into the philosophical aspect. But you are aware that you are the Atman. But from Vyavahara point of view, you just say, don't make him confused. Swami says, like a song, you should sing, I am he, I am he, I am he, in the first lecture of Gnana Yoga, Real Nature of Man. I am he, I am he. So we go home and say, I am he, I am he. No. They will be afraid that something has happened to you. Better don't go to Ramakrishna Math from tomorrow. Be in the samsara. So see, look at that last paragraph of the first lecture called The Real Nature of Man. Lay yourselves open to these thoughts and not to weakening and paralyzing ones. Muhyati, paralyzing ones, deluding ones, throw them off, erase them, delete them, format your mind. Say to your own minds, I am he, I am that Atman. Let it ring day and night in your minds like a song. That is the truth. And at the point of death declare, I am he. That is the truth. The infinite strength of the world is yours. Drive out the superstition that has covered your minds. Let us be brave, know the truth, practice the truth. The goal may be distant, but awake, arise, and stop not till the goal is reached. The world is made weaker and weaker every day by negative teachings. Men are taught from childhood that they are weak and sinners. Teach them that they are all glorious children of immortality. Tell your children, first tell yourself, convince yourself that you are not a tiny body-mind complex, that you are not a jiva, but you are a spark of the divinity. Microcosm and the macrocosm, Brahmanda and the Pindanda, is not just a flesh and blood. This contains the entire cosmos in a miniature form. In meditation, you embrace with that Brahmanda. That's why we say Akilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka in Tirumala. The jiva goes climbing up the steps to experience that glimpse of that divine being for 10 seconds. That is our nature. The goal may be distant, but don't stop this anveshana, jignasa. This thought, I am coming from the Atma Bodha class, it's not a problem. Because you are aware that you are the Atman. Then at that time what happens? The word used is Chidabhasa. Reflection. This world is a reflection. It is not true. Keeping the knowledge in mind, you can transact with the world. There is no bondage thereby. No bandhana if you transact in the world with this idea. Sri Ramakrishna, as the bhakta that he was, mentioned, think that you are the child of the Divine Mother and go around the world and do your samsaric work. You will not be bound by the world. The expression of the Gnani, like I am going, I am coming, I am walking, are only for Vyavahanam, verbal expressions. They have no bondage here. There is no karma bandha there. And they do not create any bondage because he has got the knowledge that he is not a reflection or perishable chidabhasa. The example is given, reflection that of a mirror, addam, darpan. Shankara says in another place, you cannot see your original face by yourself. Try to see your original face. Prayatninchu. You can see my face only. Somebody says, oh, nee mukki anta andanga undi. Then mursipotam. But how do you see your own face? Reflection, the mirror. And imagine, just for idea, imagine the mirror is very dirty, very hazy. What do? Wash the mirror, wipe the mirror, clean the mirror. Your reflection is very fine. That mirror is your mind. Mirror is your mind. It is dirty, so you can't see the reflection. You can't see the original consciousness. You are unhappy. So to see the original face, you have to wipe the mirror. Similarly, our mind should be wiped. The buddhi should be a good reflector. So Chidabhasa, the reflection, is always full of insecurity, full of fear, worries, tensions. Psychiatrists are having roaring business now. In schools, every school, they have to appoint one psychologist for counseling young children of 3rd standard, 4th standard. Things are not very good in the educational system. Why? Haziness. Mabbu. Children are suffering from all sorts of paranoia, schizophrenia. In America, this is a very common word I heard. In schools, hey, you are a schizo. Children talking among them, you are a schizo. Because this fellow is thinking something, daydreaming. How will you tackle it? By medicines? By punishment? No. By true knowledge. So, Chidabhasa, full of insecurity, worry, stress, fear. The reflection or the Chidabhasa has got certain features from original consciousness and from the reflection. The reflection, what you are seeing, the reflection, has got certain features of the object and certain features of the mirror also. That is the mind. So the dullness or the brightness of the reflection depends upon what? Upon the mirror. అద్దం మీద డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంది, అంటే మనస్సు మీద డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంది. అందుకే పూర్వీకులు ఏమిచ్చారు? గాయత్రి మంత్రం రిపీట్ చేయమన్నారు. వాట్ ఈస్ ద లాస్ట్ సెంటెన్స్ ఆఫ్ గాయత్రి మంత్రం? ధియో యో నః ప్రచోదయాత్ ఓం. What's the problem in repeating? And you bring secularism and you bring all sorts of logic there. Good for the student, good for the teacher. Thi, buddhi, prachodam. You want good scientists? You want good engineers? You want good lawyers? Where is the buddhi? Buddhi is dull. So, the dullness or brightness of the reflection depends on the mirror. The reflection loses its existence if the object is removed or the mirror is removed. You remove the mirror, how can you see yourself? But you need a pure mirror, a clean mirror, a manifestation. You need a good bulb, you need a clean tube or a good fan which doesn't make any sound, etc., so that the current electricity will flow and that fellow will be working nicely, smoothly. So, the Chidabhasa, the reflection, has got partial features of the Atma and that of the Anatma. What is Anatma? The mind. Atma, original consciousness. The Chidabhasa, the reflected consciousness, is called Ahankara or Jiva or Karta or Bhokta. Enjoyer, doer and the ego. All put together one word, Chidabhasa. So the original consciousness or the Atman is never objectifiable. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam. Consciousness of consciousness. Eternal of eternals. You can't objectify it. But Swami Vivekananda, what has he done for our meditation is, he brought that consciousness principle into a forum called Sri Ramakrishna. See the sentence that we sing now in another 15 minutes. Chit Ghana Kai. Very important word as far as consciousness. What is consciousness? Prajna, it's a translation. How do I explain consciousness? Brightness. Varieties of words are there. But to understand consciousness, Swami Vivekananda says, here is the Murti, Chinmaya Murti. Ghana Kai. Kai means body. Ghana means thick consciousness. It is condensed for the welfare of humanity. The Chit, consciousness. Ghana Kai. Padetapudu, we have to think this also behind. Otherwise, it's just one song, ordinary bhajan. Every sentence, every term has got a powerful meaning of Vedanta. And look at the remarkable thing of Swamiji. He never mentioned of Sri Ramakrishna's name there. He is mentioning Shiva. He is mentioning Hara. But he is not even one word of Sri Ramakrishna, but it embodies Sri Ramakrishna. All the gunas are there of Sri Ramakrishna. Tyagishwara, He Naravara, Yoga Sahai. He helps us, he coaches us in yoga. So this is consciousness. It is never objectifiable. And due to the original consciousness, everything else is experienced in the world. Because of that consciousness, this consciousness is existing. Vyavaharika Satta. Next important point in this shloka we understand is the misconceptions, the delusions, the wrong understandings. Chidabhasa will create fear. Fear of what? Fear of samsara. Bhaja Govinda Stotram, refer. Kate Kanta, Kaste Putra, Samsaro Yapi, Ativa Vichitra. So mysterious it is. So peculiar it is. A person can relax, can be free from grip of anxiety, stress, fear, etc., who understand that he is the Paramatma or Supreme Self. What does he say here? Naham jivaha Paramatma iti. Keep that in your mind. Naham jivaha Paramatma iti. Please repeat once. Naham jivaha Paramatma iti. Naham jivaha paramatma iti. Then what will you get? Nirbhayo bhavet. You will be fearless. When will bhayam come? When you think of the unreal as real. Rajju sarpanyaya. Jivam gnatva bhayam vahet. Second sentence, abhayo bhavet. He will become fearless. He will become fearless. So, Shankara is giving the popular example, snake and the rope. The superimposition of the snake on the rope, which is not there, which is in the mind only, till a guru comes and says, no, that is not a snake, it is only a rope, because guru has got Atma Gnanam. In the form of a policeman, the example is given of a policeman who comes and switches on the light. The light falls on that superimposition as it were. The snake is not at all there. So illusory snake disappears and it is a 2 feet rope. Naturally, the fear of the stranger is gone because the fearlessness of his support. Somebody has to be there for you. Then all sorts of imaginations multiply itself into 1,000 baseless notions. And the individual is under his own delusion, suffers from various consequences. The moment you say snake, cobra, crater, python, and all that we see, what happens? The negative notions of poison, fear, biting, death, they all will come and you will be shivering. Even when the snake is not there, you are dying. So Swami Vivekananda has come into this modern times, the old Shankara, and says, limited individuality. Some people depend upon their mustache for their individuality. The mustache has gone, that fellow is dead. So our limitations, our life activities are only 5 feet, 10 feet. You should think beyond. The limited individuality. But what happened when Swamiji came and saw India? We lost our individuality. Nenu ane cheppe oka idi kuda poyindi vallaki. Because of suppression and oppression of the British. You are nobody, you are nobody, you are nobody. 700 years. We became nobody. Swamiji says, first give individuality, and used to stretch it. Individuality. Give them back their lost individuality, the common masses. Make them men first. Then take them to the highest Atma Gnanam. That was his master plan. That is why Ramakrishna Mission was founded. First individuality, make you a man, wake up from your sleep, then give you knowledge. For a sleeping man, you have to wake up. Then first feed him with khichdi or biryani or palav or some sweet. Make him active. Then put him into work, karma yoga. Then make him meditate, gnana yoga, dhyana yoga. He will realize highest supreme knowledge. We went down and down and down. Limited individuals we became. Know that there is a limitless region of experience beyond what is known at present. What do we know? A little physics, a little mathematics? Is that all? So much is there in this Brahmanda. What do you know of that little? As Isaac Newton said very beautifully, I have picked a few pebbles on the vast seashore of knowledge which is lying unexplored. Sir Isaac Newton's Confessions. He did not say, oh, I discovered law of thermodynamics, I discovered law of gravitation, I am great. He felt so humble. He understood his limitations, his knowledge, and said, I picked up a few pebbles on the vast seashore of knowledge which are lying unexplored. I have not even touched the water. There's so much in the world, in nature, in science. Swami says scientists have understood just a little, not even the surface. As we read in the Vibhuti Yoga of the 10th chapter of the Gita, what a beautiful message Krishna gives in 40 shlokas. So know that there is a limitless region of experience beyond what is known at present. That is the nature of the self, the all-pervading and eternal self. Assert it. Think about it. Swami Ranganathan beautifully says in his Viveka Chudamani lectures, which he gave in that big auditorium, in the 61st shloka Viveka Chudamani, he is explaining what Shankara says. For one who has been bitten by the serpent of ignorance, Shankara uses the word, Agnanam Sarpa Dastasya. The only remedy is the knowledge of Brahman. The deadly serpent of ignorance, inverted comma, Agnanam, Mohyati, Moha, Ahankara, ignorance, has bitten us, because of which we do not know who we are. We do not know who we are because of the poison of ignorance. There is one important point. We always need to keep in mind, absence or lack of knowledge about the visible world is not agnana. See? Oh, you don't know about this, you don't know about that. Just because you don't know of the world, don't think you are a agnani. A very senior monk in our Ramakrishna order, even now he is there, he is 90 years young. He doesn't know the difference between check and draft, but he is considered as the greatest Brahmagnani. Can you do that? Can you think of it? When you keep a draft in front of him and a check, he says, what is the purpose? Both look same. So simple, like a child. But his brain is in the cosmos. So we think worldly wise, he is only wise. Prapancha Gnanam. Material knowledge. If you don't know better, be happy. On the other hand, he says, continuing, mere scholarship, study of the Vedas, study of the scripture, merely studying, and plenty of knowledge is not knowledge. Don't think you are a big gnani by knowing every scripture. The idea is, the only medicine for ignorance is the first-hand knowledge of Brahman. FIR. First-hand knowledge of Brahman I want. Strive for it. By the grace of God, you will get it. There was Swami Jagadanandaji, Holy Mother Sharda Devi's disciple. He was out and out Advaiti. People hardly saw him going to the temple because he saw the Atman everywhere. And on the last day, when there was a discussion between Bhakti and Gnanam, revered Swami Atmasthanji, who was the president of the order, provoked him a little. Always Gnana, always this. There was a big, small scratching on the surface. Jagadanandaji, who first translated Lila Prasanga into a title called The Great Master, told the Swami, who was Atmasthanji, was doing his seva, make me sit, make me sit. He was unable to sit. Physically, terrible problem in the back. He made him sit somehow by putting some pillows, raised the bed. Jagadanandaji put his head on the shoulder of Swami Atmasthanji, hugged him and said, brother, I have realized the truth. I have realized the Atman by mother's grace, and closed his eyes. What a wonderful death. He says, Maharaj said, his reminiscences, I feel Jagadanandaji's head on my shoulders and crying and saying, by mother's grace I realized. That was the last statement. Closed his eyes in the hospital. These are the stalwarts, these were the realized masters in our Ramakrishna order. Shankara, what he said, scriptural knowledge, with his experience, he put it, and now we are seeing all this very active and very real. Please understand, Shloka number 26. Next Sunday we shall take 27. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.